Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Polster 2. Today I'm going to be doing some measuring on the crankshaft, and what I've been doing is I got my micrometers out. I've calibrated it using this 2-inch calibration bar here. So this is the 2 to 3 inch, and I've already gone through and done the main journals for here, but I'll basically show you. I mean, you can go on YouTube, and there's a lot more people who are smarter on using micrometers than I am, but I thought I would go through and show you maybe. Um, Anyways, well, it's kind of hard to film this and do this, but I've already gone through and I've done the main journals, which you can see the smallest is 2.087 inches, and the largest goes up to 2.5091, and that is within 4 thousandths of an inch. Is that thousandths? 4/10,000ths of an inch, excuse me, difference between the two. I do not know what what there actually should be. So I've got to go back and check in my documentation and see what it should be. So I'm checking that. Next step is to go through and measure the rod journals. And as you guys know, it's a V8. It's got two throws on. I'm sorry. It's got two rods that ride on each throw here, and I'm going to go through and measure those, and I will show you what I come up with when I get through doing that. Okay, I have gone through and marked all of the, I'm sorry, measured all of the rod journals, and here's the numbers that I come up with, and they're all within 2/10,000ths of an inch. Again, very tight tolerance. I'm sure that they're going to be just fine. If you saw the video where I had gone through and was spinning it by hand in the block, where it would just, I'd give it a little spin and it would go completely another, complete spin. You know that it was looking pretty good from the get-go. So now I need to go in and look up what those numbers should be, and make sure that everything is good. I did order standard sized bearings for it, and that should be just fine. I still got I see just a tad bit of cleanup to do on this, but nothing that the cleanup that'll need to be done on it is more or less going to be some carb spray or brake cleaner, something like that, chem tool. And then I do need to spray it back down with WD-40, make sure that nothing rusts. But, well, actually, I don't think I'm going to get to the WD-40. What I'm going to do, hopefully, is this is going to get put in the engine today, so or in the block. So we'll have that done. But I need to make sure all the clearances are right first before I do that. So I told you guys that I'm not the best at using the mic. So I went and got the numbers, and here they are. And they're supposed to be 2.5580 to 2.5593 inches, and you can see that big glaring 0 in the middle of all those. I'm pretty sure that I misread that, and because of that, I'm going to go back and remeasure them and make sure that I'm not out in the weeds. Secondarily, I did find the from this is a Haynes repair manual for 1993 to 2002 Camaro and Firebird. However, it does have for the LS engines, and since almost every LS engine that GM produced used, I think, 3 different crankshafts, and the vast majority of it are this crankshaft. So that being that it has the same stroke, all of them have the same stroke except for, I believe, that the 4.8, the small truck engine, and the LS7 that went in the Corvettes and some Camaros had a longer stroke. So 4.8 shorter, 7.0 longer. So all of the other ones, the 5.3, the 5.7, the 6.0, 6.2, all of them use the same basic crankshaft. At least the journal diameters are the same. The stroke was the same. So that's what I'm going with, and what is in this book right here will do just fine for those as a reference. All right, I've seen what I did wrong and where I was going at. So this is my 2 to 3 inch mic, and it goes down to 10 thousandths of an inch, and you'll notice on there that let's see if I can get this in focus down here. All right, so right here it goes, so we have 2, this is 5, 2 notches over, that's 5, so it'd be 2, 5, 5, and then as we're going up here it'll go up to 9, and if this goes over 10 then that becomes 2.56, so we're still at 2.55, and since we're before this line, this is the 9 line, this is the 8 line, so it'd be 8, and then as it's going over, you match up what lines up. Let's see where we're at, and you see that 15 mark lines up with the 7, so that would be 2.5587. And yep. All right, I got all of those remeasured, and again, everything falls within spec. You see that big 5 in the middle now? Yeah, that works now. Haha. Yep, 1 on me. That's okay though. It works. So all of that works, and you can see that as far as our we're still within tolerance on both the main journal and the rod journal, so I'm good with that. So what I'm working on now is measuring the bearings. I need to measure the oil clearance of the bearings, and to do that I have a dial bore gauge that I'm going to set up in just a couple minutes. And a couple of things that I did in prep for this is that I cleaned all of the surfaces. I used the B12 Chem tool, which is carburetor and choke cleaner, but it cuts oil really well, and it cleans that stuff up. So I did that, and then I blew it all down with the air hose, and used that to get rid of all the fine paper particles from the from the paper towels. Anyways, I've got the bearings in there. As you can see, I went through and I cleaned those with with some more of that chem tool, just to make sure that they didn't have any oil on them and stuff. I also went and I cleaned up, and in the frame, can it focus? Let's see. There we go. I took this to my grinder, and as you can see, it didn't do a perfect job. Wait, let me get you a better example. There we go. That's a little better example. Anyway, I got rid of most of the crud and the crap, and I clean off around the shoulder of the bolt. And what I have to do in order to do this, I have to torque all of the bolts, just like I was putting the cam in, or the crankshaft in there, and we'd call it a day. So what I'm going to do now is I have to go through and torque all of these down in the proper sequence, so that all the bearings and stuff are seated correctly and all of that's good. Then I can go through with I need to set my dial bore gauge, and then what it'll do when I set it up correctly, it will give me the proper it will give me the clearance, what is the difference between what it should be and what it is, and that will give me my oil clearance. Going back to my page over here, you can see that with the rods have a 6/10,000ths to 25,000ths clearance, and the main cap clearance is 7/10,000ths to 21,000ths, so that's a pretty good distance there. I'll go through and make the measurements, and we'll go from there. One thing that I did want to mention, well, there's a couple things I want to mention here. First of all, in a previous video, I had thought that the 2 dots went on one side and the number 1 on the other. Well, that's true up until 5. I did confirm that 5 is actually backwards. I checked that. What I did is went back and checked a video that I had done previously, and it showed that. Insert clip here. And we're back. Yep. So these are correct. The placement is correct now, and it is how I had it. They didn't. The machine shop didn't do anything with that, so that was cool. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through and doing my torques on these, torquing the main studs, and what those are is each one of these is 15. You have to torque them. Initial torque, it's in 2 steps. First step is 15 foot-pounds, and I figured out that my half-inch drive torque wrench, which is a really good torque wrench, is it only goes down to 17. So I had to kind of change what I was doing. I have a 3/8 inch inch-pound torque wrench that I'm using. That is, it will go, well, in inch pounds, it's 180 inch pounds is what 15 foot-pounds is. So that's what I'm setting it to and going with that. And then each one of these has a separate degree that you have to go to after that. And that is, we have to turn the inner ones, an additional 80 degrees and the outer ones an additional 50 degrees. Then the side bolts just get torqued to 18, but you don't have to torque those. I'll let you see these side ones. Those don't have to go in to do the torquing. They just helps lock it to the block so that it becomes it's completely stable within the block. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I've got to go through and do my second torque sequence, and then I can start measuring these things. All right, I've gone through and measured all my clearances for the rods, and as you can see, the mains need to be between 7/10 thousandths and 21 thousandths, and they all measured out. The smallest one is, I put 6. It's the 5th journal. Sorry, is 7/10 thousandths. So that's at the minimum, and the rest are just fine within that scope. So we're good to go with the oil clearances and pressing forward. All right, I got the crankshaft installed. The camshaft is in there too, as Davin from Haggerty would say. It's sure a heck of a lot easier to get it in there, and it is. Before you put the crank in, put the camshaft in. You're not bumping around on the cam bearings and stuff nearly as much. Anyways, all that's in there. It's ready to go as far as that goes. Next step is going to be starting to check the rings, the ring gaps, to make sure that I got enough ring grab. That'll probably happen tomorrow. I'll start working on that. And yeah, I have to clean up my bench here so I can lay out all my pistons and pins. I'm sorry, pistons, pins, and rings and stuff, and get it all situated so I can keep working on this stuff. Anyways, moving forward, and the engine's trying to get done. It's talking to me. Please, please, fix me, fix me. Anyway, all right. This is Paulster 2 signing out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Get it out there to people who might be interested in all this crap. I know that there's about 1 billion LS builds, but we're doing it. Anyway, until next time, be well.